Miriam, what's your favorite thing you've read in that so far? You just got it? I see that. All right, you're here early, so you get a bonus. Buy this book. Like, you've already read it. Did you already read this one with us? Exactly what to say for real estate. It literally tells you. Imagine. Like, it literally tells you what to say, and it gives you examples of what to say to a real estate client.
That was the next rated version of that.
John, can you not talk? and if it's X-rated.
Listen here, blah, blah, you know, that type of stuff.
This is G-rated.
G-rated. All right, like I said, I'm gonna give, we just got onto YouTube, we're gonna give that a minute to get going. Miriam's gonna read us a passage out of the book. No?
No, not now.
Okay. I'm also stalling because someone has a slide right up front and he's not here at the moment. He's downstairs, so. John, what is the best piece of advice you can give realtors?
Yeah, honestly, be yourself.
I like it.
Don't
Be
try
yourself.
to be, don't go try to change. I mean, I remember when I first came out from New York and I started doing real estate, and everybody says, "Oh no, you got to get a Mercedes. You got to you got to get a, you know, like a brand new suits." And I had plenty of suits. Then I found out that I was like, my clients felt a little overwhelmed when I would show up, you know. So I decided, hey, you know what, just be yourself, and they were much more accepting.
Just chill.
So I got the old Impala out, and that was it.
What do you think being yourself does?
What does it do?
Yeah, like why do we think that's important?
I think it's a certain comfort level, and that it provides, you know, not just for them, but also for you.
Yeah.
Because you're not trying to be somebody you're not.
Yeah. So I didn't plan this with John, but it's actually a really good point about, did anyone see the news about Opendoor recently? Does anyone know I'm talking about Opendoor being in the news?
Sounds familiar.
No, it was open
Opendoor is what we call an iBuyer, right? So the iBuyer, they're making an offer on properties. We're gonna riff for a minute just for fun, and then we're starting. So Opendoor they'll literally make an offer on your home. They say, you go on their website, punch in your address, they'll say, hey, we'll make you an offer right now, $1.2 million. Doesn't matter what it's actually worth, they're gonna give you a number. So then they ended up getting in trouble with the FTC because they made some claims in their advertising about, don't worry, you're gonna get a great offer, you're gonna make more money than if you sold it with an agent, et cetera, et cetera. They basically found out that wasn't true. They did a study, found out it wasn't true. But the piece you just said about connecting, about being yourself. So Opendoor now is partnered with Zillow. Zillow kind of, think all the robots, right? The robots don't have your personality, right? Especially yours. Especially your personality is a little bit more unique. But like so when you say be yourself, that's the thing that's setting us apart from just an algorithm that can spit out a number and tell you, hey, we'll close in 7 days, I'll give you $1.2 million. Doesn't matter what your home's worth, right? So it's a way that you can connect. And so, and for years, how many times did Steve, I don't know if you know, how many times people have said they'll never come to the Bay Area. The iBuyer will never come to the Bay Area. You can go take your house, go to opendoor.com, punch in the address, see what happens. They'll make you an offer. Yeah. And so they have limitations on age of the home and things like that, but it's a real thing. And so that personal connection is the thing that's gonna keep them coming to you instead of just trusting them. And now that they're partnered with Zillow, it makes it a little easier for people to get that real information, right? All right, so you're already here, so you already know, but for the recording and people that'll see this later, remember we moved to now first and third Tuesdays at 11. That was based off of the survey you guys took, and you said you wanted us to move times. Jerry was a big proponent of it and actually voted, so he wins. So that's why we're here. But again, and remember last time we talked about we moved it off Zoom, it's onto YouTube Live. We've got actually 10 people right now watching it from there. So kind of keeping with that idea of we're gonna make it as available as possible, but obviously it's more fun to see you guys in person. So this is gonna be a pretty full meeting, so, of things. Let's see, so first, Mega Camp, this is kind of your final warning, right? The ones that are going in person, look at the bottom there. We're gonna have a meeting tomorrow at 1 if you can make it. I know 1 or 2 people can't make it. But we're gonna have a meeting talk about expectations, since everyone that's going with us has never been to Mega Camp. We have 10 people going, and I'm the only one that's been there. So I'm there to answer your questions about what to wear and why it's 1,000 degrees outside and 32 degrees inside, and the challenge you're gonna have with that. But if you wanna do a digital registration, because the way it's gonna work is they're live streaming all the sessions, and the sessions start at 8 a.m. in Texas, which is 6 a.m. here. And if you're like, well, I don't wanna get up at 6 a.m., I understand, but you can, when you register for the digital side, you're able to get those recordings for the next, usually it's about 90 days after. So they kind of move the date a little bit depending on, but after Mega Camp, we're gonna have this, we're calling it the Mega Camp recap, but we're gonna make this, I kind of almost wanna change it into something like end of summer extravaganza. Think like this is, oh, Ricardo, I did not talk to you about this and you're on there, so listen up. So what we're gonna do, we're having 3 of the people that are attending. We've got Hans and Alex kind of gonna bring back their takeaways of, as top producers, what did they learn? And then Ricardo, as his 2nd year in real estate, what did he learn about what the top producers are doing, right? So Ricardo, hopefully you're available on Tuesday, August 30th at 11. Okay, good. We will have lunch, so I need you to please register, right? Because we've talked about this before, when we're inviting vendors to bring us lunch and then we don't show up, makes us look kind of silly, right? So please register for it, but we want to pack the room for this, because like I said, it's end of summer, it's time to kick into a different gear. Everyone's already told me they couldn't come to things this week because their kids are in school, so now you have no excuse. Your kids are in school that day, right? Well, maybe not, Ricardo. Got it. And then, so today, coming up, we have an economic update with Rick Cunningham, and I convinced Rick to come all the way up here from Southern California just to talk to you about it. So Rick, this is all you.
Good morning, everyone.
You're scared.
Yeah, I'm actually up in the area, or in our Castro Valley offices in Oakland today. But yeah, I thought I'd come by and just let you know. So I'm going to be doing an economic update, really talking about everything from what's happening globally, nationally, and then really around the Bay, and really kind of giving you guys some tools, because some scripts and things like that, because you know I keep hearing people saying we're going into recession, it's going to be horrible. And the reality is it's not true. Like our perspective, if we were in business in 2008, 2009, that was catastrophic. But then you get Dodd-Frank legislation came in, and there's more equity in homes than ever before, and there's all these things, and we were at crisis level housing pre-COVID, almost to 5 million units. So the reality is, are we seeing changes and a shift? Absolutely. But let's keep it in perspective as far as what it is. And so it's rate sensitivity, and to be honest, we really saw a real dip in June. So again, you know, I hope that you guys come and invite friends, and the venue, we're still trying to lock down the venue.
Yeah, we're hoping it's gonna be at the Fremont Event Center where we did the big panel. We just gotta confirm with them first. But
Yeah.
Rick, do you want to kind of tell them a little bit about you and what it is you own and run?
Sure. So we're not called KW Advisors. So you guys mostly know like Oakland, Alameda, Castro Valley. Those are all part of my operation out of the Oakland franchise. And then I have around the Bay, San Francisco and Napa, and all through the peninsula. We just took over Palo Alto, and we got San Mateo, and then down in San Jose, like Los Gatos and Saratoga and Carmel, and then Southern California and Hawaii. So all the operations, and I just love, the economy is like one of my favorite things. So again, I run KW Advisors throughout California and Hawaii. So I'd love to have you guys come. We'll have some other agents coming as well to that. And again, you were just announcing with Mega Camp, we're doing a group thing. You guys are welcome to come join us. So if you're going to Mega Camp on Monday from 4 to 6, there'll actually be a group there. In fact, Joe Dickerson's the managing director in Castro Valley, and he'll be there with a group of people, and we'd love to have you guys join us too. So
yeah, I'll make
the more
sure
the
that
merrier.
gets out.
Yeah.
So
And for those attending in person, we have packets for you that will include. Tina?
I was just gonna say, great networking opportunity, because we'll have agents from Southern California, from Hawaii, they'll all be there. And you can come and give them your
Yeah, I would say
more
that like the
referrals.
agents that go, yeah, the recruiting, the referring business, again, like if people really do it, it should be 20% of your overall business if you really work the network at the highest level. I think that's one of the biggest benefits we have as a company. So, any
Awesome.
questions? Good? Okay.
All right, September 12th, I almost said 30th. I told you we were gonna mess up those times. And we'll have a registration link for this one. You're gonna hear a lot more about it, but especially with Mega Camp coming next week and myself and some others being out, we wanted to make sure to start getting this word out now. But it's definitely a way we talk about, like even today, we're gonna talk about some numbers, but kind of getting that bigger picture and what's inflation actually doing, not just to our market, but that bigger picture, because not all of your clients only live in the Tri-Cities, correct? So next, and Ricardo, I'm gonna maybe bug you again. So we've got Bold coming again in October. We've partnered up with basically all the South Bay offices. So I think it's from Palo Alto, Cupertino, San Jose, Santa Cruz, Santa Clara, and I think Milpitas. I think we've all partnered up to bring in another Bold, and this time it's gonna be with Cody Gibson. So if you've ever talked with Michael Putnam, who knows Michael Putnam? Raise your hand, you know him personally. He works for Cody Gibson's team. He's the National Director of Expansion, and Cody is one of the, let's call him top 5 in the company in terms of the size of the team that he runs. And so he's also a very highly regarded Bold instructor. His energy is very different. If you took it before with David Jones, Cody's is very different in a good way. Like some people connect more with him, some people connect more with David. But Ricardo, just shout out, like, what's like 2 things that you took away from Bold last time? Or even one big thing that you took away from when you did Bold last time?
Well, it was my first in-person Bold, so I just like the kind of camaraderie, like lead generation.
Okay, camaraderie and lead generation.
Kind of the same way.
Kind of?
Well, yeah.
I'm literally using you while I get the next guest set up, so talk some more.
It was just, I mean, I like it because it's cool to sit around with people and like have them motivate you and stuff when it comes to the lead generation.
Yeah.
You get different ideas from what other people are doing too. Some stuff that I would write off before.
Okay. So for the most part, you're in groups of about 8 to 10 people, right? And Bold is like one piece, it's 3 things. Like one piece is your mindset, one piece is education, like just learning more about the scripts to use and how to go after certain pieces of business. And then one piece that's probably the most important piece is the accountability, right? Is to actually have someone to be accountable to someone else. And especially like, you'll hear a lot of agents say, oh, well, I'm doing this for my kids. I don't have kids, so I'm not doing it for my kids. So I'm doing it for myself. It's hard to hold myself accountable, so I gotta get some external help, right? And that's kind of what Bold is about. So it's gonna begin October 20th. It's gonna be on Thursdays. Still trying to lock down a location because our location changed on us. But most of our training is free. This is one of those examples where it's not. However, the very first session, there's 8 sessions or 7 sessions total. The very first one's free, so you can go and get a feeling for what it is. Learn about the cost, learn about scholarship opportunities. There's ways for us to either, it's not always down to a free level, but ways that we can really heavily discount it. We also run a reimbursement program. So when you have closings within a certain time frame after Bold, that will reimburse you for that time. So she's not here right now, but Ren actually just had 2 closings that paid for her Bold, right? Or it paid for half of her Bold. And that was just from being there, basically, right? Going to Bold, putting in the effort, and taking advantage of it. Let me see. This is getting tricky. This is why I don't like Zoom. So I'm waiting to see. We have a special guest coming in, and if not, I have something else that we can work on first. But let me see what else we had. Oh no. There we go. Oh, perfect timing, Aaron. See, that was planned, you guys? So, let's see. Hey, Aaron. Or we'll give him a minute to turn on. So this was kind of my fault. I kind of didn't send him the link on time, but that's okay. Or I didn't let him into the room on time. But we'll give this a minute if he can hear me. Someone talk for a minute, please. Ricardo. Ricardo, hey, there's Aaron. Aaron, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So, all right, Ricardo, your joke is over. I was going to have you tell a joke, but we're going to end that now. And then, so this is Aaron Lacey. He is, well, I'll let him introduce himself with his actual title. But basically, we brought him in to talk about why video is important, right? Like, how many people think they want to do video in their business? So, Aaron, it's about 4 people, but they're lying. There's more than that. And we talk often about like why it's important and why you should do it. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna have Aaron talk about, he coaches around this specific topic. So Aaron, I'll let you kind of take it away, introduce yourself, and then, yeah, we'll kind of chime in as we go. I'll let you know if there's questions, since it'll be hard for you to hear the questions.
Okay, perfect. Awesome. Thank you, Jason. And hi, everybody. I can't see you, but I imagine you're all stunningly good looking and dressed really, really well, as we do in this business, you guys. So really nice to connect with you. Yeah, my name's Aaron Lacey. I am a psychology-driven digital marketing coach for real estate, and I've been in the real estate space for about 20 years. And I've run a 250 agent office with 3 branches, and helped them set up a lot of systems to make them successful and grow. And so I split off from that and started my own company, advertising agency, and now I'm in the coaching role here in real estate. And so really excited to share with you guys how you can level up your video, kind of your video strategy, and start utilizing video a little more effectively, because you're probably, I bet there's some people in the room that haven't jumped into video yet. There's some that probably have a YouTube channel that they're adding videos to, consistently. And, I think most of us are probably in between, where we're maybe inconsistently creating videos. We're maybe not seeing the results we anticipated from those videos. So that's my goal for you, is to really walk you through specifically how to leverage YouTube to grow a YouTube video channel. Because as we know, YouTube is the second most utilized search engine online, owned by Google. It is used like a search engine. People go to YouTube to search for specific content, and as you know, it's filled with every single type of topic and subject you can imagine. You can learn how to, build a house on YouTube and do everything in between. And so, what I would say for you is, you may be leveraging video on social media already. You may be using Facebook or Instagram or TikTok or LinkedIn to create video content, whether it's short form video content like Reels and TikTok content, or longer form. Challenge with social media is that your video content has a very short shelf life, right? The shelf life is approximately 72 hours. So you put a lot of time and effort into a video, it drops into people's news feeds, it's gone within 3 days. And people don't use social media to search for content. They're using it for instant on-demand access to what's new, what just was posted. But YouTube is utilized in a completely separate way. The content lasts forever. It lasts indefinitely. In fact, I'm seeing real estate agent videos right now that they made 3 years ago, still generating hundreds and thousands of views every single month, because people are interested in the difference between, Fremont and Livermore, for example, or the cost of living difference between Fremont or Livermore, or which one's better for school districts, or which one's better for IT workers, or which one has better access to amenities, or right. So all of these different topics, right? We can then create content around, video content around. That's just one example that will again create conversations and questions for us for years to come from just a single video. So my YouTube masterclass that we're excited to be bringing to you sometime probably next month, date to be determined. And Jason, if you wouldn't mind enabling screen share, I'd love to just share a little graphic, and I wanted to share a few other things on YouTube if possible.
Yeah, give me 1 second to figure out what I'm doing. Try that.
No problem. Okay, let me see. That was quick. You did it literally in 1 second. Awesome.
Bam.
So this is the session where I'm referring to. It's a 3-session YouTube masterclass where we cover 3 main topics. Number 1 is setting up your YouTube channel. Number 2, and why, really talking about why does YouTube even deserve your focus in the first place, how to create your what's called a brand channel, and then how to simply just set it up with a banner, photos, links. We'll get into adding a description, maybe even some keywords in that session. Session number 2, we'll get into optimizing your channel for growth. So that's where we'll add a welcome video. We'll set up your playlist, and we'll really optimize your channel with keyword-rich, descriptions and information. And then the third session, we'll get into planning your video topics and schedule. So that'll be all about executing your video strategy. Well, where we'll come up with your content list. What types of videos do you actually want to post? Are they going to be real estate related, market related, lifestyle related, community related, business related? What type of videos do you see yourself creating? Where should you start with your video creation kind of journey? We'll figure out what your schedule should look like, and then we'll talk about the best ways to share and promote those videos so that they get seen. Because that's really the challenge. Is we'll spend a lot of time creating content, but if nobody sees it, if it doesn't generate exposure, then it's useless. So how do we maximize the opportunity if we're creating this content to ensure that eyeballs are on it? And most of all, it's generating opportunities for us, because that's why we're doing this, is so that we get people wanting to reach out to us, ask us questions based on the video content we create. Any questions so far? Because I want to then just show you a few examples of agents that are doing this. Any questions in the room or comments?
There was a question about cost, but this one's free. So.
Yeah, so there's no cost, you guys. So Jason's bringing this to you at no cost to you guys. So, you can't beat the price, right? So no reason to not show up. We have Terry Teal in the house too, by the way. Just wanted to recognize her.
Terry,
She's on
if
the
you
call.
wanted to pop in too, go for it.
Okay, I'm not sure how I pop in.
There you go.
Kind of see. Oh, there I am.
We
Okay.
can see you now.
Well, good morning, everybody. Thanks, Jason. Good morning, Aaron. We appreciate the opportunity. I'm with WFG National Title Company, and Aaron Lacey works for our sister company, West. So we're able to bring him to you for added value, just to help level up your business, keep you on the cutting edge, as you've heard Aaron talk a little bit about what he's going to be teaching you in the next few sessions. So we're here for you, and I'm excited to be here. Thanks again, Jason.
Yeah, thanks for Terry's really the one that led putting this together. I was trying to take credit, but it didn't work. So Terry's really been on us about she's been saying, let's get Aaron in front of your agents. And then we met last week with Aaron, and it was like, oh yes, this is someone I know. Because I know Miriam's working on video. I know Adrian's working on video. William, did you raise your hand about wanting to work on video?
Yes.
Oh, I was gonna say, if not, William's now gonna work on video. I'm volunteering him. So, all right.
We're all gonna work on video.
And if I might continue, I mean, there's multiple different, video comes in every weight, in every kind of type, shape, form, topic, length, right? And so I think, we all have our own ways of doing things, our own comfort levels, our own presence online, on social media. Maybe we're utilizing YouTube right now. Maybe it's something we'd like to do. I think now is maybe a wake-up call. It's time to jump onto this. Over 75% of the content consumed online is video content. The fastest growing social media platform is TikTok, and Instagram has converted every one of their 4 different video formats, right? Their long form, their IGTV, their the short form, all into now every video you post to Instagram is actually considered a reel. They're rolling that out now because reels are in direct competition to TikTok. YouTube has their story feature as well, and their shorts, they call them YouTube Shorts feature. But people, I say all this to just kind of showcase the point that consumers, buyers and sellers, and all of us, we enjoy video more than ever. And it's very easy to just kind of indulge in video and research and vet people out. So whether you create content, like I'm going to show you a few examples, like these 2 agents in the Portland market, who created a channel called Living in Portland, Oregon. They've got over 12,000 subscribers now. Some of their videos, if I click on videos and we sort by most popular, some of their videos have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 plus thousand views. Pros and cons of living in Portland, cost of living in Portland, top 5 best neighborhoods, top 10 worst neighborhoods, right? Living in Vancouver, Washington versus Portland, right? So these videos are creating massive opportunities for them, helping them grow their business, grow their team. In fact, now they've grown their team substantially as a result of creating and setting up this YouTube channel and creating this video content on a regular basis, right? And it's not that they're, launching a new video every day. It might be every week, it might be every other week. But the fact is, they're doing it consistently, and it's creating conversations. People are reaching out to them saying, hey, I saw your video, I've got a question on what neighborhood I should live in, what do you recommend? And those are all buying signals, right? And they're also generating selling signals as well, where people are asking them, well, when should I sell? Should I move to this place? Should I sell now? So that's just an example. So in our training, I'm going to go through some of my favorite profiles from my favorite agents that are doing it well. Mr. Chu in Beverly Hills is doing it well. Karen's doing it well. Boutique Real Estate Group is doing it really well. So, there's some people that are really doing it well. This agent, for example, has over 80,000 subscribers. So, for us, we're not going to go from 0 to 80,000 subscribers in a day, but we can talk about the principles and strategies she's utilizing to grow a massive business, and how you can leverage some of those same concepts, and then I'm going to incorporate Canva into the mix with us setting up our YouTube channel, creating a YouTube banner, creating those YouTube thumbnails. Again, if this is something that's of interest to you, how we can set all this up very easily, put a plan in place for you that you can execute regularly. So I'll jump off from there. I know I talked for 15 or so minutes.
No,
but again, if anybody has any questions, comments, I'm available now, happy to answer those. Reach out to Terry. I'm happy to connect with you between now and our training next month. Otherwise, I look forward to I'd love for everybody to show up to the training next month. I know you're going to walk away with at least a couple things that can help you grow your business.
Does anyone have any pressing questions now? Miriam? What's your question, Miriam? I tried.
Looking forward to the class.
Oh, she said she was looking forward to it. That's a good question.
Awesome. Thanks so much.
Cool. Jerry, you're good? All right.
It was good.
All right, thanks, Aaron. Yeah, like I said, we have to lock down a date. I moved our team meetings, obviously, to Tuesdays, and we had it scheduled on Tuesday. We got to get that piece figured out. But once we lock down a date, we'll get the marketing out, designed in Canva, ironically. So, cool. All right, thanks a lot again to Aaron and to Terry for bringing Aaron in for us and getting that introduction done. We will see you guys soon.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Cool.
Bye, you guys. Take care.
Oh my God, don't hit the wrong button.
Bye, Terry.
I almost just say end on the entire YouTube thing. It would have been bad. All right, so now who wants to play a game? Well, hold on. I forgot. I have 3 more things. The personally branded magazines, John, to your point about being yourself, you can use these magazines to actually, you can put your own kind of personal flair into them. I know Tina is actually using these because these come out quarterly. She actually uses them, sends them to her clients, and gets responses from her clients by sending her these things, or sending them these things, right? It's basically just, I think they're about 20 pages long, kind of like what Aaron was showing with the different YouTube videos of, here's some tips about buying a home, here's some tips about your home. It's another way to stay in front of your clients by saying that you're in real estate without calling them and asking, when are you thinking about buying a home, selling a home, or investing in real estate? Because how many people actually want to call their sphere every quarter and ask them that exact question? Well, Jerry wants to, but not everyone wants to get that question. But when we connect with them different ways, then when I call them once a quarter and just say, hey, how you doing? They go, oh my God, I got your magazine. Anyway, so this is something that's available to you. It says summer, but it lasts longer than just summer. And then for tech training opportunities, We have some agents that have been asking about how to really utilize the DocuSign integration into Command. You can kind of take it a level deeper. It's not always necessary because DocuSign integrates into Carform so well, but there are some ways to basically become a power user to make your business more efficient, so that when you do get business, you don't just get so tied up in the minutia that you end up, oh man, William, that you'll end up spending all your time doing this. At the same time, just use a transaction coordinator. My God, if you're not using a transaction coordinator, call Renee. I'm kidding. Renee says don't call her. All right, so we had already talked to Aaron about using video in real estate. We're gonna cover some Tri-Cities numbers. We're not gonna do a big deep dive into the numbers because that's what Rick is doing on September 12th. Thank you. I keep saying September 30th. It's not September 30th. All right, so we're gonna play a game. Why did William leave right now? All right, so take out your phone. If you're on YouTube watching this, you're gonna be at a slight disadvantage, but you can still try this. But it's gonna be based on speed, and YouTube has a natural delay. So take out your phone and go to kahoot.it. So it's the big purple letters .it. It's gonna pop up a little window that's gonna say enter your PIN. Just stop there. Don't download the app, don't do anything, just hang on a minute. I'll give you the PIN number to use. After you enter your PIN number, it's gonna ask for a username, something ultra competitive like King Bamal, because he'll be number one because we're competitive. No, I can't tell if he likes it or not, but I'm sticking with it. Okay, well then use the app if you already have one. I'm just saying you don't have to download the app. There's gonna be 6 questions, kind of all real estate or KW related. The faster you answer the question, the more points you're gonna get. Harshita watched me play this and I got ultra competitive and started screaming like with hundreds of people there, jumping up and down, and I came in second, which is total bullshit, but that's fine. So the questions will pop up on the screen. You're gonna answer the questions with your phone and you'll see what happens after that. Sound good? All right, here we go. So I gotta remember how to get there. All right, so there's your PIN number right there. So when it asks for your PIN, do 408213. William, either scan that QR code or go to kahoot.it and enter that PIN number. Preet, very, very competitive name. Preet. Harshita, me, great. Me, all right, I'm gonna give you another minute. Alex, go to kahoot.it and enter that PIN number when it gets there, and then enter a username. This is a quiz game for the 2 of you that weren't in here. You're gonna get questions, you're gonna see the question on the screen, but you're gonna answer on your phone. Speed matters, okay?
What do I win?
You'll find out if you win.
What I win?
If? I like the attitude. See? Someone's taking bold. That's gotta be Alex. Or Brian might be on YouTube and just put it in there. And if so, you can see what the delay is between live and YouTube. They're gonna be behind, but that's okay. All right, Alex, are you logged in? All right. Anybody else trying to get in? All right, here we go. Kahoot at work, come on. That's us. All right, first question. It's gonna take a second to get to your phones. What was the July median sales price in Fremont for detached single-family homes in July? 1.625 million, 1.7 million, 1.74 million, or 1.778500? We have 7 more seconds. 2, 1. Ooh. 10 of, oh wait, how many total people did we have? 10, 13, 16, 17. So 10 of 17 guessed it right. So good job. Let's see who, is so Paul even in here? Okay, YouTube not at a disadvantage. So Paul just joined us and is already gonna start outpacing all you guys because I think he's taken every class that we have on YouTube already. But man, apparently YouTube, not as big of a disadvantage as I thought. You got Bimal, Connor, Valise, might be Adrian, or maybe it's Ricardo messing with us. Topper, I don't know who Topper is. All right, so next question. What was the average days on market in Fremont for detached single family in July? And if you don't know what days on market is, just click a random color. Adrian looks stressed out about it. He's picking out his eyebrows. Alex looks cool as a cucumber. All dressed up today. Ooh. So the correct answer was 14, but 8 of you chose 13. The majority. I think that's gonna mix up our standings. Ooh, Bimal taking the lead. I think that must mean you had 2 out of 2. And then JT, again, maybe YouTube not at the disadvantage I thought they were. Whoever the heck Kleckers is, Ricardo, and Adrian fell right off the list.
That one number.
that one number was everything. All right, third question. It's another multiple choice. How many homes are sold for more than $3 million so far in 2022 in Fremont? 3, 6, 32, or 43? Above $3 million. Oh, only one person got it. I guess, who was it? Well, I think we should be able to see because I think they're going to go flying up the rankings. So Paul, come on guys. He's been with us a week. I haven't even talked to him about market statistics yet. That or Alam is the best PC coach that exists. What do you think it is? Alam, okay, sounds good. Thank you for being the supporter of Alam. All right, so, but Bimal's still leading the way. So Paul, JT, Kleckers, and Ricardo. All right, next question, true or false? On average, single-family homes in Fremont sold for more than asking in July. True or false? Boop, boop. Boop, boop, boop. I mean, it's a coin flip, it's 50-50. You could have just accidentally clicked a button. You had a half chance of being right. 3, 2, 1, 19 answers. Someone got right in at the end there. So most people knew that they sold for more. We're gonna talk right after this, we'll talk about how much more. It was just barely more than asking. All right, so what's that do? Ricardo cheated. Yeah. Connor moving up the list, but Bimal's still staying strong up there. Valise ended up knocking out also Paul. So good job, Adrian. If that is actually Adrian. Next question, what is KWBP's DRE license number? You might be shocked to learn that this is on there because many of you put it wrong on your files. It's so obviously what? All right, so most people got it right. So that's good. Oh, what was funny about the yellow one, Adrian? Do you understand what 8675309 is? Exactly. That's Jenny's phone number. You should give it a call sometime. You'll pick it up at some point. Whoever chose this one, sometimes you're almost right because that's my license number if you end up putting it on referral forms. That one is. And then the green one is just our license number backwards. That's all it is. It was very creative of me. All right, final question. Oh, wait, we got to see the standings. What's going to happen? Man, Bimal is just kind of running away with it. Ricardo, Valise, Connor, and Topper, but Adrian moving up the list, even though he doesn't know Jenny or her phone number. All right, so unless someone comes up here and mugs Bimal to take his phone, he's probably going to win this one. This one's a tricky one. You ready? I feel like we've talked about this one before, but we'll see what happens. What's that? I'm kind of just looking in general. So Thank you.
You did.
All right, here we go. Who is Nick McTojo? Steve's son, the owner of KWBP. Nobody, it's a fake name, or our broker. Don't. Olive. Spoilers, you son of a. Next time we do this, we can't have all of you. So everyone said, "Oh, that's easy." Well, not really. Olive, who's Nick McTojo? He's what?
The owner of KWBP.
Can anybody break down for me who Nick McTojo is?
Nick is a short name of Steve's son, and Max and Tojo are the two more partners of Steve.
So the three people. John, you probably actually know who they are. I know who Joe is. So Nick is Steve's son.
And one is Rick Jihah's son.
That's Joseph
Joseph
Jihah. Who's the other one?
The other one was one of the original founders, and God, he hasn't been around here for a long
Everybody has.
time.
Yeah, what's
So
What, who?
so the reason I put this on there,
Rusty's kid.
the Rusty McGowan's kid.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we've had, the reason I put this one on here is that we'll get people asking to talk to Nick McTojo, right? Because if you actually look at our DRE license, it's Nick McTojo Inc. That's what we call a fake name or a fictitious name, a fictitious business name, but we are Nick McTojo Inc., doing business as Keller Williams Benchmark Properties. It's always shocking. Well, maybe it's not that shocking, but it's comical to me how many people get it wrong and how long it took me to learn who Nick McTojo was, and I never actually met him.
Shouldn't technically that be our broker? That's what we do.
He's not our broker.
Nick McTojo.
Yeah, I know, really.
Nick McTojo
Those
Inc.
aren't sure.
is our fictitious business name. It's literally called a fictitious business name because it's fake. Fictitious means fake. William, you want to contest it?
No.
Okay.
I just thought of something interesting regarding names. I just got the contract last night. You know the last name of my clients?
Flynn.
Flynn!
I know,
You
I saw
you
the
signed
referral
document.
agreement. I am not buying the house though, unfortunately.
Must be Michael Flynn.
No, we don't talk about him. Anyways, did you get it right? Oh man, here we go. The top three. In third place, Ricardo, if that's actually Ricardo. Second place, we've got Connor. In first place, if it's so Paul, I swear to God. Oh. And you got the last one wrong. Man, I remember the last one wrong. Fun or no? Adrian had no fun, he says. All right, well, that was it. Or actually, we can see, ooh, how many homes were sold for more than 3 million? Only 5% were correct. Come on, guys. Anyways, we'll talk about what those numbers actually mean. All right, so first off, every time we talk about market numbers, people ask us, where do we get those stats? Go to the resource drive, bit.ly/KWBP drive, or go to kwbpservices.com and click on resource drive at the top, and you'll have access to, it's all sorts of resources. Alam's uploading some more scripts into there. We have some already. He's having Harshita upload some more. The graph that he uses will be uploaded into there. And then we have our virtual assistant, Raymond, who creates all these graphics for us. He creates these every month. I kind of just forgot that they were in there, so I forgot to keep promoting it. He has these built out for Tri-Cities plus a few other areas. William.
You know, it'd be a great script to have.
What's that?
How to explain the squiggly line graph.
Which squiggly? Oh, like the actual.
Active pending. graph.
Oh, okay. How to explain it?
How to explain it in simple terms to a client.
Alam, can you write that down?
Sure.
Of just, like, I get that you can explain it now, but if we could actually get that typed into a script.
Basically, it's how many homes are available in Tri-City and how many are in contract at any given time.
Right, but why is that important?
I would say, and the why, and what
So it's
happens.
Supply and demand, that's all.
But I think we can go deeper into it. That's a good idea. We can have a script, and like that's actually a good point. That if there are resources that you guys want, let us know. Like Scripps, that's a great example. And Alum has a Scripps class on Mondays at 12. But if there's something out there that you want that we can help you with, we can add it to this drive. We can go, kind of like with Aaron Lacey and the whole YouTube thing, right? Is like, we can go get those resources for you. We just need to know you want them. Sound good? Jerry.
Whenever the for sales are greater than the pendings, it's a buyer's market. Whenever the pendings are greater than the for sales, it's a seller's market, period.
Can I argue with you just a little bit on it?
No, you can't argue.
Okay, sounds good. I'm going to. So something I like to do, like I personally don't want to go tell people it's a buyer's market, because a lot of times, and this is right, wrong, whatever, a lot of times that they hear buyer's market after they've just listened to how many years were we a seller's market, for the most part, just in general, that I'm saying it still might be a seller's market, but man, is it improving as far as opportunity for buyers. So when we talk about sale price to list price ratio, where I asked that true false question was, on average, did more homes sell above the asking price, or whatever the hell I worded it as? So it was 103% the price went over the asking on average, right? So more homes are selling above that number, unless there's an outlier, but there isn't. So the change there was from back in January, it was 118%. So you were having to write offers 18% over asking on average just to get into escrow. Whereas now you're only 3%, right? So and if we think about it, that 3% means those are those hot, good looking listings that are ending up with multiple offers, versus before where it was 20 offers. Ricardo, I hope you don't mind me asking you this. On your listing that you recently had, looked great, right? Like it literally stood out on that block. It stood out as easily the best looking listing. What did your offer situation look like on it?
We had one offer, but it was over asking, no, not contingent.
One over asking, non-contingent offer. And then a couple where agents said they would write, but they felt like they didn't have a chance because they were going to write either at or below asking. And he already had all the other terms that the seller was going to look for. So it was a little bit maybe unnecessary for them to write an offer. So why do you think they wrote an over asking offer on day one? Or call it week one, but at the deadline, right? Because they're used to this ultra competitive market, and they knew maybe that seller's been burned for months and months and months. So even though it was only one offer, it was still over asking. And I think, if I remember right, I think he's right about there, right at that 103%. And so just an interesting thing is all. But a few like specific highlights. This is for Fremont Detached. Also, all these forms, Raymond's the virtual assistant, he's putting all those forms in the folder for you, so you don't have to go to bayeast.org to get them. You can, if you want to do that, do it that way, but all these forms are in there already for you to share out with your clients. But some interesting points I highlighted on here. The month's supply of inventory, right? Can anyone easily describe what month's supply of inventory means? William.
If no more homes came on the market right now, it would take that long to sell the car.
Right. So if no more new listings came on the market, but the buyers didn't go away, that's how long it takes to absorb. It's the same thing as absorption rate, right? That's how long it takes for all the listings to go away. Back in January, we were at 0.2 months. 0.2 months is equivalent to 2 weeks, right? Like half a month is roughly 2 weeks. Now we're sitting at 1.7 months. Historically, 1.7 months is still really good. That's a good market. But something to consider is that going from 0.2 to 1.7, that's, what is that? 8x increase, right? So we've been begging for inventory. There's our inventory. We found it. You can also see it here. Here's our inventory. In the chart that Alum makes, where for sales and solds, the two lines are starting to separate, that's called inventory. We've been asking for this. So kind of to what Rick was saying earlier, when people say, we're headed into a recession, the market's crashing, like at the same time, we've been asking for this. Has anyone gotten a buyer in contract this week that they didn't have to fight as hard as they had to 6 months ago? Right, we've been asking for this to happen, and it did. So basically, other things to highlight, we're right back to January prices. In January, if I can talk, we were at 1.64 million median. It went all the way up to 1.778 million and then came right back down to 1.625. So basically any equity that the sellers had gained from February or January to May is essentially wiped out. At the same time, back in January, I'm gonna skip ahead a little bit here for a second. Back in January, they were still already really high, right? Like their prices, they were already getting like historically high prices. So it's easy for us to say, oh my God, like, oh, you just lost all that equity, but 1.625 million for something that they bought 10 years ago for 500,000, right, is significant increase in wealth. 14 days on market was the average in July. That's still fantastic. Was it as great as 8? No, but 8 is about, it's about how low you can possibly go, is 1 week. Because people will typically list on a Wednesday or Thursday, go through the weekend, review offers Tuesday, be in contract by Wednesday. It's tough to get even less than 8. So 14 days on market, still an incredibly fast moving market. This one's just kind of interesting. This is how I pulled up those numbers about how many homes have sold above $3 million this year. This is Fremont detached single family homes, 43. Whereas you look at last year, it was 32. And you look at the 3 years prior to that, it was 11 combined, right? So it's showing how much our market has shifted into this north of $3 million market. Another interesting thing about these graphs when you see them is where you can kind of see the majority of the sales so far this year have been right in here between 1.3 and 2, right? So if you have the one buyer that's looking for a single family home of below $1 million, you can show them that's only happened 7 times this year. Only 7 sales in Fremont single family have gone below $1 million. So now when you see that one that comes on the market for below $1 million, what do you think? You see one hit the market at 999. Maybe that's not the one to go low ball because there's a good chance it's going this direction. Make sense? Basically for Newark and Union City, the numbers are roughly everything kind of stays, same story, different tune kind of a thing, with one exception. And I want to back up to in Fremont, and Jerry alluded to this earlier, we had 172 active listings in Fremont. This is 69 went pending. It's the reason numbers could be off from what we actually said was however they calculate it and things like that. And then 84 of them sold. But when you look from June to July in Fremont, it went from 148 actives to 172, so that inventory was still growing. But when you look at Union City and Newark, the numbers go down, right? So last month they had 61 active and this month they have 56. Would that be of concern? Would that be of something to be worried about or something noteworthy? Not that Jerry's shaking his head. I basically agree. The number's really small, right?
Just fewer homes.
We're talking, and that's like a sneeze of fewer homes. That's 5 fewer homes, right? Like it's not much to worry about yet. Now, if that starts really collapsing, then you're getting into another inventory shortage problem. Whereas right now they're sitting at 2.4 months of inventory, which is higher than Fremont, but that's fine. Average prices, this one gets weird. This dip right here for the average price, it's off medians. Like averages are a weird thing sometimes. Which is also why you can't go off that one number. Because if somebody panicked saying, well, in May, the median was 1.55, and in June it was 1.3. The market's collapsing. That's it. The market's over. Here we go. Well, look, it came right back up to 1.5. This is called an anomaly. Big word. Union City, basically the same thing. They have the same thing. Their numbers, like between the two, are almost exactly the same. It's kind of interesting. They saw the slight dip. They saw their prices come down a little bit. But for the most part, would you say this market is crashing? No. Anyone that's saying that is just trying to get YouTube clicks. I do think this one's interesting though. Sale price to list price ratio is down to 101, right? So we're starting to get to where the average is falling below 100. Although it doesn't really mean much, it could be an opportunity for you to talk to the buyers that want the discounts. The ones that never want to write above asking, well, great. Here's your opportunity to maybe start offering below asking. But at the same time, does anyone understand the difference between sale price to list price versus sale price to original price? Can anyone explain that?
They may have reduced the price.
Right, so Alum says they may have reduced the price. What does the list price mean when we're talking about these statistics? What do we mean by list price?
Last price that was on.
The last price that it was listed for in the MLS. So if I started my home at 3 million and I reduced it to 2 million and it went into escrow at 2.1 million, my sale price to the list price is gonna go up, right? Because it technically went higher. Ignore the fact that it sat on the market for 6 months and had to go from 3 million to 2 million. That's when we're comparing sale price to original price. So agents can very easily conflate their numbers with this, because what they can do is they'll change the list price, right? Like if William has a listing at 1.5 million, he gets an offer at 1.4, he'll reduce the list price to 1.4 and then market pending. Right? It's a stupid little game they play to try to keep their statistics up or whatever. Fine. If that's really what you're worried about, you got bigger problems. But it can conflate the numbers. So this is Fremont from 2019, January 2019 to July 22. You can see the list price, the sale price to list price was 102, but the sale price to original price was 100, right? So the sale price to the original price was actually lower. Just something to keep an eye on. It's not one of those like, oh my God, I gotchas. But like when we're looking at some of these ratios, it's just something to know. Be that expert instead of just a sheep. Zoom out to get context. So this is looking at number of days to sell over time, days on market. So when we say, wow, 14 is so much higher than 8. Okay, great. It wasn't that long ago. It was 2019 when we were peaking over 35. Right, and so Abhi brought that up one time a couple weeks ago when we talked about this, saying 2019 there was a shift in the market and 2020 moved it right back, much like much of our lives. Zooming out again, if you go back to January 2013, the average price in Fremont for residential, including multifamily, was sitting about 600,000, and now we're at 1.65. Yeah, 1.65. Right, so they only gained about $1 million in equity over 10 years. So a little blip like this to say, oh my God, I missed the top of the market. Not if you're measuring the top from here, not if you're measuring it from here or here, right? Yeah, did you miss the very peak? Sure, whatever. You know how hard it is to hit that peak on purpose? It's impossible because you don't know that we rounded over the top of the peak until we rounded over the top. Because then what happens if this turns right now and comes right back up? Is it possible that the market's about to just completely about face and start moving back up? Possible. Is it possible that it's going to do the opposite? Totally possible. Who knows? That's the whole point. That's all I got. I forgot to put up a little conclusion slide, so that's all I got for you. Any questions about any of the market things?
Good stuff.
Any questions about how to become a better Kahoot player than Bamal? Because I'm probably going to insert, did we like the Kahoot game?
Yes.
Okay, good enough. Jerry said yes, so we'll keep it. And so we'll bring that back in again. I want to re-highlight one more thing real quick, just one of the announcement slides. This one, we want to try to get everyone in for this. Like I said, we'll do lunch. We're going to have a special guest that I'm not going to tell you about, probably until either right before, or I may not even tell you until the day of. But our goal is to get as many people here as possible. If you wanted to tell me what kind of food you want, shoot me a text, and maybe I'll try to get it. I know Adrian and Ricardo want Olive Garden, right? So, all right, so put this on your calendars. We'll get info out about it. Otherwise, have a good rest of your day. And for the Mega Camp people, I'll see you tomorrow at 1. Not you. Are you out tomorrow? You too. Tomorrow at 1. If you can't make it, I'll send you the book either way. Booklet.